So I'm probably going to keep this review rather short, a bit more busy today, and honestly, I don't have as much to say that I haven't already said before, but I do have to say this was a very fitting finale, and I leave episode 13 feeling rather satisfied on what Mars Red did for its story, while firmly convinced that this will be the most underrated and underappreciated series of 2021. And don't get me wrong, there's always a lot of shows that get swept under the radar, and I mean, things that I thought would get swept under the radar, like Odd Taxi, surprisingly has gained a really good following, and rightfully so. Sadly, Mars Red just didn't get that same type of buzz that I think it does deserve, and hopefully, maybe when it gets a physical release, more people will check it out. It's just one of those shows that really blew me away, and not everyone gets a happy ending. Not everything wraps up with everyone living happy-go-lucky, though after the credits and things like that, we do get to see quite a few of them do get to seemingly carry on, but, you know, when it comes down to Maida versus Kurisu, you knew there was going to be pain, it was just a matter of how much, and it's unfortunate because, I mean, Defraud's blood clearly is not something you want. From the love interest at the beginning of the show to Maida going crazy, if you get turned into a vampire by Defraud, you're probably going to end up losing your mind, which is unfortunate because Yamagami, you know, he wanted him to carry on, and originally Maida taking up the offer from Defraud was so that he could take down this horrible plan, and, you know, it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to really do so, even though he kind of did. I mean, Maida single-handedly almost destroyed this advanced vampire unit, so on one hand, he did keep the promise to Yamagami, though he wasn't able to hold on to his humanity, whereas Kurisu, in his final moments, even after tasting blood, you know, still was able to remain human, even though he technically was a vampire. And that back and forth, you know, hoping Maida would snap out of it, and in those final moments did. The bursting in flame, the exact same spot, just a little, like a couple of inches to the right of that of his fiancée. There's just so much theater-like performances here, and the unorthodox way that it kind of like portrays this story. You do have to pay attention. You do have to think outside the box. You do have to piece together things in your own mind, because this is a story that won't tell you everything. It needs you to think outside the box, and maybe that's why it didn't get as popular as I think it deserves. But, I mean, the story feels to me a nice, tightly wrapped up package in 13 episodes, where tears are flowing, and, you know, I love Kurisu's final moments, him still sticking to his guns here, and, I mean, it's weird to see how many characters who I was kind of neutral on end up becoming really big stars. Yamagami, Kurisu, like, honestly, it just feels like a really conclusive package with a very interesting presentation. I love the aesthetic, I love the movie-like format, it just feels like a play, and I love Defraud's final messages before closing it off. It's a damn shame, that's the best way to put it, that not more people checked it out alongside the cult following, which is the Mars Red community. But I mean, this is a show that I'll definitely be recommending for quite some time. I truly don't have too much to say past that. It is mostly just feelings, there's not much to analyze past what's already been set up in, say, like, the prior episodes. But in terms of a conclusion, I'm glad it didn't end up super happy-go-lucky, Maida, Kurisu, everyone ends up living. There was sacrifices. The last little chunk, you know, was defeated seemingly by the man who kept on with his humanity. And even though Maida lost his humanity, he was able to at least destroy quite a bit of these destructive forces, while also tying in the backstory of how everyone met, and most importantly, why Maida felt so connected and indebted to someone like Nakajima, which is a pretty big plot point that I'm glad was touched upon. Very hard to predict series, and a very conclusive one, and I mean 13 episodes, really, really well done, I have to say. Love to know everyone's thoughts and feelings down below. Drop a like to help promote the video, and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.